Howdy folks, it's Diecastbuffet here again, and it's time for another custom showcase. Today's car will be showcasing is Travis Kapow's number 28 Golden Corral Ford Fusion. Now this car is based off the Daytona 500 one from 2009, the one that did get rained out, and Matt Kenseth won. So this car is entirely custom and definitely not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So this idea for this build has been like kind of sticking around. I would probably say probably since August, around there. I had the idea for this build, and I had the body for the car too, and I just never did it. I just never did it. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do it. I got some new equipment, and I was eager to kind of try it on one of these COTs and see what I could come up with. I learned a lot with this car. It's absolutely not perfect at all. Not perfect at all, but hey, that's kind of what you do with these customs, is you make one, you learn your mistakes, and you improve on the next one. And that's how I do things. My philosophy, like a Jimmy Johnson fan should say, is to never stop improving, and that's what Lowe's always was their slogan for Jimmy Johnson, and that's kind of how I do my die casts. I never stop improving. I always try to find new ways to make them better. I learned a lot about this new system I've been using, and this is the finished product. Now, again, it is absolutely riddled with defects. I mean, first off, we have a chip right here. I was putting the window in, it did chip right here. Now this car was painted in the summertime, somewhere around there, maybe September, August, somewhere around there, I think. I don't know, maybe even July. This corner panel, it was not flat. The paint, I think I touched the paint months ago whenever I was working on it, so that's why you kind of see a little bit of a wrinkle kind of there. It's because of the paint that got kind of smeared or whatnot. And then the decal itself was too big. I didn't properly size the decals whenever I was making them, and I had to kind of go to the drawing board, so to speak. So I had to make some modifications to kind of make the decal fit on the car. As you can see, there's no tail light decal there on this side. And on this side, it looks worse because I had to cut the decal to make it fit. And you could say you could just make some more decals. It gets very expensive when you start doing that. The roof number, it's supposed to be, I think, a little bit of a different shade of red. I didn't really test that. I think on the template it's supposed to be a different color, but on this it's just, it looks almost identical to the background color. But anyways, this is the Daytona variant, and the Daytona variant is supposed to, this color is supposed to be like orangish, red, yellow, kind of round, or not red, red-orange, kind of like that kind of burnt orange kind of look for the restrictor plate race there. There's normal races, in this paint scheme, it would have this, black number on the roof for most of the races. So that's kind of how that one, it looks worse than it would. It would look a lot better if I just went with the black numbers, but that's what the template called for. I could have easily fixed that. Again, you learn from these things. You learn from it. The front, it's not perfect at all. I mean, I see a lot of defects here. I should have colored in right here the grill inlet. I didn't do that. Like I said, you learn these things as you go. This one was made before the Juan Pablo Montoya custom, so I used information I learned on this, and I incorporated it into the Juan Pablo Montoya custom, so this one is a little bit worse. The decal wouldn't fit all the way to here. I couldn't get it to work. Like I said, I was using a system that I'm nowhere near close to where I want to be on my, on what I'm able to make, and I had to basically paint this by hand because I didn't have any pieces and I didn't have any decals that I could. I wasn't have to go make some decals because most people might be like, oh, you can just make as much as you want. Those things are a day-long process almost to make. I'm just saying. I had to manually paint this part here. I could have done a whole lot better It is not a sharp line. Could have done a whole lot better there. I could have done a whole lot better. I mean, this side's better than that one, but I still could have done a lot better. Back end of the car, I could have probably painted a little bit more. Absolutely nowhere near where I wanted it to be, kind of. I wanted a lot higher quality. Unfortunately, we just didn't get that, you know. We didn't get the higher quality I was looking for. But nonetheless, I'm still happy with it. You know, this is a learning curve die-cast. You learn it. You know, this is my second one I made with this new style. It's better than my older ones, I think, because simply the quality of the material, but it's not where I wanted it to be. There's a lot of defects on this one. You know, the front looks really bad. The back end looks really bad. I mean, the only part that looks decent is probably just the hood and this, and the roof I could have done better, but, you know, it's one of those things. But I'm still very happy to have it. This is, you know, a die cast that was not produced. You know, I believe this was for what? Robert Yates Racing, I think, the 28 car. At least that's what I remember that number being a part of, was Robert Yates Racing. This car, you know, like I said, it was a learning curve car, and the decals, not the best quality either. They're a little bit blurry, but not the best quality. My camera's not even being the best quality today either. It's like, this car is not as dark as it seems. It's supposed to be a little bit lighter, but my camera just does not like to cooperate. But yeah, it's just, I'm happy with it, but not thrilled with it. I did a much better job with the Pablo Montoya custom. I learned a lot of things with this build that I can incorporate into other builds. So I learned a lot of information. So I consider this I consider it good, but not a success. If that makes, or maybe a success, because I did learn a lot of information. But anyway, though, this diecast, it's definitely it's definitely there. It's not great. It's, you know, a lot of defects. Doesn't look good. I don't know. I'll let y'all judge. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, smash that subscribe button. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you have a great one. And Diecastbuffet signing off.